You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
Has editing your content become a burden, or you just don't have the skill set?
I wish I could focus on content production, but post-editing takes so much time and effort.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We'll look no further. Here at Asylum 99 Studios, I can help you create professional quality videos that will be sure to captivate viewers. With my creativity and skill, along with your content, assets, and ideas, I can bring your vision into the simulation. I offer the following services: video clipping and organization, content creation, VFX, SFX, and motion graphics, intro and outro assets. Requests may be taken upon further discussion. So if you're a content creator, short on time because you're out living your best life, or you wish you could focus all your energy into producing content, reach out to Asylum 99 Studios today.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Don't settle for mediocre videos. Hire me as your freelance video editor and create videos that meet your standards. Asylum 99 Studios. Release your creativity.
Hello. We ask that you forgive the technical difficulties in today's transmission. We are working hard to bring you a better audio experience in the future. Thank you for your consideration. I will now connect you to patient 99's feed. Stand by.
Trigger warning. You are about to enter the TomaHawk rage room. If you're a faint of heart, or you just a pussy-ass motherfucker, turn back now. You've been warned.
Peace, tribe. What I got for you this time, we're going to look at the interrogation of CEO Sho Chu of TikTok.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Now, I already gave y'all the warning. Welcome to the TomaHawk Rage Room. There's going to be strays flying all over the place in here, so keep your head on the swivel. Hit the deck. So we're going to start with Sho Chu's opening statements. Shall we begin?
Mr. Chu.
Chair Durban, Ranking Member Graham, and members of the committee, I appreciate the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Sho Chu, and I'm the CEO of TikTok, an online community of more than 1 billion people worldwide, including well over 170 million Americans, who use our app every month to create, to share, and to discover. Now, although the average age on TikTok in the US is over 30, we recognize that special safeguards are required to protect minors, and especially when it comes to combating all forms of CSAM. As a father of 3 young children myself, I know that the issues that we're discussing today are horrific and a nightmare of every parent. I am proud of our efforts to address the threats to young people online, from a commitment to protecting them to our industry-leading policies, use of innovative technology, and significant ongoing investments in trust and safety to achieve this goal. TikTok is vigilant about enforcing its 13 and up age policy and offers an experience for teens that is much more restrictive than you and I would have as adults. We make careful product design choices to help make our app inhospitable to those seeking to harm teens. Let me give you a few examples of long-standing policies that are unique to TikTok. We didn't do them last week. First, direct messaging is not available to any users under the age of 16. Second, accounts for people under 16 are automatically set to private along with their content. Furthermore, the content cannot be downloaded and will not be recommended to people they do not know. Third, every teen under 18 has a screen time limit automatically set to 60 minutes. And fourth, only people 18 and above are allowed to use our live stream feature. I'm proud to say that TikTok was among the first to empower parents to supervise their teens on our app with our family pairing tools. This includes setting screen time limits, filtering out content from the teens' feeds, amongst others. We made these choices after consulting with doctors and safety experts who understand the unique stages of teenage development to ensure that we have the appropriate safeguards to prevent harm and minimize risk. Now, safety is one of the core priorities that defines TikTok under my leadership. We currently have more than 40,000 trust and safety professionals working to protect our community globally. And we expect to invest more than $2 billion in trust and safety efforts this year alone, with a significant part of that in our US operations. Our robust community guidelines strictly prohibit content or behavior that puts teenagers at risk of exploitation or other harm, and we vigorously enforce them. Our technology moderates all content uploaded to our app to help quickly identify potential CSAM and other material that breaks our rules. It automatically removes the content or elevates it to our safety professionals for further review. We also moderate direct messages for CSAM and related material, and use third-party tools like PhotoDNA and Take It Down to combat CSAM to prevent content from being uploaded to our platform. We continually meet with parents, teachers, and teens. In fact, I sat down with a group just a few days ago. We use their insight to strengthen the protections on our platform, and we also work with leading groups like the Technology Coalition. The steps that we're taking to protect teens are a critical part of our larger trust and safety work as we continue our voluntary and unprecedented efforts to build a safe and secure data environment for US users, ensuring that our platform remains free from outside manipulation and implementing safeguards on our content recommendation and moderation tools. Keeping teens safe online requires a collaborative effort as well as collective action. We share the community's concern and commitment to protect young people online, and we welcome the opportunity to work with you on legislation to achieve this goal. Our commitment is ongoing and unwavering because there is no finish line when it comes to protecting teens. Thank you for your time and consideration today. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Okay. So let's get first things first out of the way. Do I think TikTok is an arm of the CCP? Yeah. But guess what else? I don't give a shit. I don't care what they know about me. I don't give a goddamn what the CIA knows about me. Fuck all y'all. Right? But let's get to what's important about his opening statement. This was a hearing on online child exploitation. Right? So you got the CEOs of various tech giants, social media tech giants, so-called answering for the crimes of their app, you know, a digital object. But he comes out and tells you flat out, we have given parents all the tools necessary to make sure that their child has a very safe experience on TikTok. Now, when you're dealing with a person like me, that's all I needed to hear. Okay, it's my responsibility. Got it. Right? But as we're going to see moving forward, there ain't a lot of people like me. So, he came and laid it all out. We gave you everything you need to make sure your kids are safe. He said they had 40,000 safety specialists. How can 40,000 specialists handle 170 million people effectively? Right? So I'm gonna let that stew right there. So we're gonna start with Durbin.
Mr. Chu, your organization and business is one of the more popular ones among children.
Who the fuck is letting their kids use TikTok?
Can you explain to us what you are doing particularly and whether you've seen any evidence of CSAM in your business?
Yes, Senator. We have a strong commitment to invest in trust and safety. And as I said in my opening statement, I intend to invest more than $2 billion in trust and safety this year alone. We have 40,000 safety professionals working on this topic. We have built a specialized child safety team to help us identify specialized issues, horrific issues like material like the ones you have mentioned. If we identify any on our platform and we proactively do detection, we will remove it and we will report them to NCMEC and other authorities.
Why is it TikTok allowing children to be exploited into performing commercialized sex acts?
Pause. You're not gonna get away with that one, Durbin. Nah. See. How does an app coerce your child to post lewd videos and photos on the internet? Let's be clear here. This hearing is not about kids being kidnapped, recorded, and photographed and put on the internet. This hearing is about kids who put that shit up on the internet, and then when they get caught, they want to cry victim and act like they didn't know what the fuck they was doing.
Senator, I respectfully disagree with that characterization. Our live streaming product is not for anyone below the age of 18. We have taken action to identify anyone who violates that, and we remove them from using that service.
No, sorry.
Moving on. So first up to bat, this punk ass motherfucker, Lindsey Graham. First, I don't trust no dude named Lindsey. That's number one. That's the only dude I know named Lindsey. Right? 2, if you're out here digging around in the rabbit holes like I am, you look at any politician, worldwide really, but here in the so-called United States specifically, when it comes to talking about child safety or children in general. I ain't making no accusations. I'm just saying. So I want you to pay attention to his mannerisms of all of the people that are come up here and take a swing at Mr. Chu, right? I want you to pay attention who they represent. I want you to remember all the stuff that they're in the news for right now, all the bullshit that they're up to right now. And I want you to ask yourself, I want you to keep this question in your mind throughout this. Do they really care about children? Is this really about children? Or is this about something more? And with that said, we're going to roll the footage.
$2 billion, Mr. Chu. What percentage is that of what you made last year?
Do they care about the children? If you're here for the children, see, I tried. Bro, told y'all, TomaHawk Rage Room. I tried. If you're here about the children, why are you asking these people how much money they make? Right? We're going to see what his so-called reason is. Keep going.
Senator, it's a significant and increasing investment as a private company. But
you pay taxes. 2% is...
Taxation is theft.
what percent of your revenue?
Senator, we're not ready to share our financials in public.
Well, I just think $2 billion sounds a lot unless you make $100 billion.
How much money do you make, Sven'Gramz?
So the point is, you know, when you tell us you're going to spend $2 billion, great, but how much do you make?
Why is that relevant to the children, Mr. Graham?
You know, it's all about eyeballs. Well, our goal is to get eyeballs on you. And
why?
It's just not about children. I mean, the damage being done.
I didn't think so.
Are you?
There you go. There you go. Now, I can stop the video right here. Right? But we're going to keep it rolling.
Do you realize, Mr. Chu, that your TikTok representative in Israel...
There it is! There it is!
Hey, I'm not going to say what race, what people... I can't say that. It was a Jew.
Resigned yesterday?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay, he said, I resigned from TikTok. We're living in a time in which our existence as Jews in Israel, and Israel is under attack and in danger. Multiple screenshots taken from TikTok's internal employee chat platform known as LARC show how TikTok's trust and safety officers celebrate the barbaric acts of Hamas and other Iranian-backed terror groups, including the Houthis in Yemen.
Senator, I need to make it very clear that pro-Hamas content and hate speech is not allowed on our platform within our country.
Why did he resign? Why did he quit?
Because he's a punk ass.
I'm not going to say what race, what people... I can't say that.
Because he's a punk ass motherfucker who ain't gonna take his ass to Palestine and put on an IDF uniform and commit hate crimes and genocide. Okay, that's why the fuck he quit. He's a bitch. And let me say something to you Kanye.
I'm not gonna say what race, what people. I can't say that. It was a Jew.
Let me say something to y'all. I don't give a fuck. You understand? Y'all on my land, on my ancestral soil with all y'all fuckery. I can give a fuck about the bullshit y'all out here perpetrating and getting into. Now, am I saying that innocent people need to get laid up? Hell no. But as far as this narrative that y'all pushing, fuck all of y'all tunnel digging motherfuckers. Fuck y'all. Hit the tape.
Senator, we also do not allow any...
Do you know why he quit? Do you know why he quit?
We do not allow this. We will investigate.
My question is, he quit. I'm sure he had a good job. He gave up a good job because he thinks your platform is being used to help people who want to destroy the Jewish state. And I'm not saying you want.
Says the politicians using the CIA or working in tandem with the CIA with another person on this panel that we're going to cover in the next video.
Hey, I'm not going to say what race, what people. I can't say that.
Hypocrites all around. I fucking hate y'all. Y'all need to resign from office. And that's the easy way. Just do it. Just leave. Leave now. I can't say that most people feel like me, but if y'all just leave now, just leave now. And I'm gonna call it square. Don't show y'all face around here no more. Just get the fuck up out of here. Some restructuring on my ancestral soil has to go down, and y'all need to leave.
That, Mr. Zuckerberg, I'm not saying you want, as an individual, any of the harms. I am saying that the products you have created, with all the upside, have a dark side. Mr. Citron, I am tired of talking. I'm tired of having discussions. We all know the answer here. And here's the ultimate answer. Stand behind your product. Go to the American courtroom and defend your practices.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Why you want him in the American courtroom, Graham? This ain't about the children, folks. It's about money, power, and control. Because they ain't got no respect.
Open up the courthouse door. Until you do that, nothing will change. Until these people can be sued for the damage they're doing, it is all talk.
What damage are they really doing? Listen to me, folks. Hear me out. What damage is social media really doing? If you talk to me, I'd say none, because they're complaining about lewd child content being on the internet and being all over the algorithms and stuff. And my experience on social media from back when I graduated high school to right now, that kind of shit don't pop up on my feed. People telling their stories about, their trafficking and such pops up on my feed. But content, no. It seems to me that the algorithm gives you what you look for. There's some accountability that needs to be had. But I'm gonna come out and say this. TikTok and all these other social media platforms are guilty of a lot of things, and they should be tried for a lot of things. But this isn't the one. Because let me ask you something, Lindsey Graham. What is your part in child exploitation? As a politician. Supposed to be a servant, but y'all have to act like y'all the leaders and the tyrants when y'all really supposed to be the servants of the people. What's your role in it? Seems like y'all trying to shift the blame onto y'all scapegoats, the social media companies. But we gonna get to that. Keep rolling.
I'm a Republican who believes in free enterprise. But I also believe that every American who's been wronged has to have somebody to go to complain. There's no commission to go to that can punish you. There's not one law.
When you really look at it, what'd they do? And look, we're gonna get to that later. What? All I did was put the website there. Cause see, what y'all people seem to forget is, y'all think the internet's not a real place. The internet is the inception of where we at right now. It's us right here, internet. The people that are crying about their kids getting taken advantage of on social media are the same people that just let their kids roam free out in the world. When I be driving up and down the city blocks, I just see kids roaming around, no parental supervision. These are the same people. Irresponsible motherfuckers. And I said it. I wouldn't dare let my kids roam free without my supervision in this world. You out your goddamn mind. You lazy ass motherfucker shit parents. We gonna let it play.
The book because you oppose everything we do, and you can't be sued. That has to stop, folks. How do you expect the people in the audience to believe that we're going to help their families if we don't have...
When has a politician ever helped anybody?
Some system or a combination of systems to hold these people accountable. Because for all the upside, the dark side is...
Accountable for what?
Too great to live with. We do not need to live this way as Americans.
Fuck you, Lindsey Graham. Amy Klobuchar. All right. Let's get this over with.
Mr. Chu, I'm a co-sponsor of Chair Dermot Stop CSAM Act of 2023, along with Senator Hawley, the lead Republican, I believe, which, among other things, empowers victims by making it easier for them to ask tech companies to remove the material and related imagery from their platforms. Why would you not support this bill?
Senator, we largely support it. I think the spirit of it is very aligned with what we want to do. There are questions about implementation that I think companies like us and some other groups have, and we look forward to asking those. And of course, if this legislation is law, we will comply.
Okay, so let me frame this for you guys, right? These panelists are trying to frame this as social media giants are allowing CP on their platforms. I'm not here to say they do. I'm not here to say they don't. Because that shit doesn't pop up on my feed. Because I'm not looking for it. So that begs the question. Because you gotta separate it. There's taking a child, recording and photographing them and putting it on the internet. And then there's these kids putting this shit on the internet. Okay? And when I say these kids, I'm not talking about these tiny kids. I'm talking about these teenagers that they're mainly referring to, because if you listen to the demographics of these websites, they're focusing on 13 and up. I was born in the early 90s, okay? Y'all know what y'all daughters, sisters, nieces, and granddaughters was out here doing. And I have no reason to believe that it ain't stopped today. And I believe it has gotten worse with the advent of smartphones and social media. Now, has social media been gas on the flame? I can see that. See that. I didn't say that. I can see that. But I'm going to lay the problem where it belongs. Lack of parental supervision. Okay? That's who I'm blaming. But with that said, that's what they're trying to infer. And my question is, they only have 40,000 professionals and they're dealing with 170 million people. You can kind of see why they want to speed AI up now. Right. They can only do so much at one time. On top of that, you got to remember, y'all have created a society where not everybody's working really hard. On top of that, these people that have to handle this content actually have to look at it. Which would mess them up, if I were to guess. So, we're pointing the finger everywhere at where these fingers need to be pointed. And that's at parents. Because y'all, the same motherfuckers in here crying about the government ain't doing nothing about social media, are the same motherfuckers out here taking their kids to Drag Queen Story Hour. Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all motherfuckers make me sick. This is why I'm not for letting my kids just hang out with anybody's kids. I don't know these motherfuckers' parents.
Smell like bitch in here.
I don't know what the fuck you niggas are down with. So until I know that, I'll keep my kid over here, you keep your kid over there. I don't even let kids come to my house. I don't know what your parents is on, you can't come over here. Because you ain't gonna be over here tainting the order that I'm establishing over here. Y'all got the game fucked up. I'm talking to politicians, I'm talking to parents, and I'm talking to these CEOs. Y'all got the game fucked up. Next up, we got Cornine. I don't really know nothing about this motherfucker. Roll it.
There's no question that your platforms are very popular, but we know that while here in the United States we have an open society and free exchange of information, that there are authoritarian governments, there are criminals who will use your platforms for the sale of drugs, for sex, for extortion, and the like. And Mr. Chu, I think your company is unique among the ones represented here today because of its ownership by ByteDance, a Chinese company. And I know there have been some steps that you've taken to wall off the data collected here in the United States. But the fact of the matter is that under Chinese law and Chinese national intelligence laws, all information accumulated by companies in the People's Republic of China are required to be shared with the Chinese intelligence services. ByteDance, the initial release of TikTok, I understand, was 2016. These efforts that you made with Oracle under the so-called Project Texas to wall off the U.S. data was in 2021 and apparently allegedly fully walled off in March of 23. What happened to all of the data that TikTok collected before that?
Senator, thank you.
From American users.
Understand. TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is majority owned by global investors, and we have 3 Americans on the board out of 5. You are right in pointing out that over the last 3 years, we have spent billions of dollars building out Project Texas, which is a plan that is unprecedented in our industry to firewall off protected U.S. data from the rest of our staff.
I'm asking about all of the data that you collected prior to that event.
Yes, Senator. We have started a data deletion plan. I talked about this a year ago. We have finished the first phase of data deletion through our data centers outside of the Oracle.
I just want to say, you think we're fucking stupid, Mr. Chu?
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
That shit is not deleted. Okay? I just wanted to lay that out there.
Cloud infrastructure, and we're beginning phase 2, where we will not only delete from the data centers, we will hire a third party to verify that work, and then we will go into, for example, employees' working laptops to delete that as well.
Was all of the data collected by TikTok prior to Project Texas shared with the Chinese government pursuant to the national intelligence laws of that country?
Senator, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it.
Ancient Chinese secret.
That's where you gotta be careful, right? TikTok might not have provided it, but if I were a betting man, I would bet that the CCP already has their hooks into it immediately, where they can just take it and copy it. But politicians aren't really that smart. Or they're tap dancing. You be the judge.
Your company is unique again among the ones represented here today because you're currently undergoing review by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. Is that correct?
Senator, yes, there are ongoing discussions, and a lot of our Project Texas work is informed by the discussions with many agencies under the CFIUS umbrella.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Well, CFIUS is designed specifically to review foreign investments in the United States for national security risks, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
And your company is currently being reviewed by this interagency committee at the Treasury Department for potential national security risks.
Senator, this review is on a acquisition of Musical.ly, which is an acquisition that was done many years ago.
Ancient Chinese secret.
I mean, is this a casual conversation, or are you actually providing information to the Treasury Department about how your platform operates for evaluating a potential national security risk?
Senator, it's been many years across 2 administrations and a lot of discussion.
If it was such a top priority national security risk, why did you let it operate in the country for so long? You see, I can't stand that these politicians act like we don't know that they're China's bitch. The jig is up, man. We already know that. This whole thing is an act. This whole hearing was bread and circus, to be honest with you. I've watched it. At the time of recording this, I've watched it at least 3 times. Gathering all the clips and shit that I needed. Cut the shit, man.
Around how our plans are, how our systems work. We have a lot of robust discussions about a lot of detail.
Ancient Chinese secret.
63% of teens, I understand, use TikTok. Does that sound about right?
Senator, I cannot verify that. We know we're popular amongst many age groups. The average age in the US today for our user base is over 30, but we're aware we are popular.
And you reside in Singapore with your family, correct?
Yes, I reside in Singapore and I work here in the United States as well.
And do your children have access to TikTok in Singapore?
Senator, if they lived in the United States, I would give them access to our under 13 experience. My children are below the age of 13.
My question is, in Singapore, do they have access to TikTok, or is that restricted by domestic law?
We do not have an under 13 experience in Singapore. We have that in the United States.
Interesting. But I bet in Singapore, mothers are actually in the house doing their goddamn job. Continue.
Because we were deemed a mixed audience app, and we created under 13 experience in response to that.
A Wall Street Journal article published yesterday directly contradicts what your company has stated publicly. According to the journal, employees under the Project Texas say that U.S. user data, including user emails, birth date, IP addresses, continue to be shared with ByteDance staff, again, owned by a Chinese company. Do you dispute that?
Yes, Senator. There are many things about that article that are inaccurate. Where it gets right is that this is a voluntary project that we built. We spent billions of dollars. There are thousands of employees involved, and it's very difficult because it's unprecedented.
You know why it's unprecedented? Because nobody thought when they started a social media company they would have a problem with teenagers uploading shit to the internet that they ain't got no business uploading. Okay? That's why it's unprecedented. These niggas did not wake up thinking, God damn it, we gotta figure out how to keep these kids from putting pictures on the internet. I'm gonna talk about it. I don't give a fuck what y'all talk about. Because if you got sickos out there looking for it, and they didn't kidnap your kid to put it up there, how are they getting it? And let's not forget that this is the OnlyFans culture, the e-cam girl culture. The hot girl summer culture, the money culture. Like this is gonna be a recurring theme here in the TomaHawk Rage Room. You understand? You better have your ACH on, and you better be ready to hit the deck, cause Stray's gonna fly.
Why is it important that the data collected from U.S. users be stored in the United States?
Senator, this was a project we built in response to some of the concerns that were raised by members of this committee and others.
And that was because of concerns that the data that was stored in China could be accessed by the Chinese Communist Party.
Kind of like how the CIA does to us. And I don't give a fuck if the feds watching my shows and they waiting on me. I don't care. I know y'all looking.
According to the national intelligence laws, correct?
Senator, we are not the only company that does business, that has Chinese employees, for example. We're not even the only company in this room that hires Chinese nationals. But in order to address some of these concerns, we have moved the data into the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. We built a 2,000-person team to oversee the management of the database here. We firewalled it off from the rest of the organization, and then we opened it up to third parties like Oracle, and we will onboard others to give them third-party validation. This is unprecedented access. I think we are unique in taking even more steps to protect user data in the United States.
Well, you've disputed the Wall Street journal story published yesterday. Are you going to conduct any sort of investigation to see whether there's any truth to the allegations made in the article, or are you just going to dismiss them outright?
We're not going to dismiss them. So we have ongoing security inspections, not only by our own personnel, but also by third parties to ensure that the system is rigorous and robust. No system that any one of us can build is perfect. But what we need to do is to make sure that we are always improving it and testing it against bad people who may try to bypass it. And if anyone breaks our policies within our organization, we will take disciplinary action against them.
No, sorry.
Ah, yes. Theodore Cruz. Roll it.
Mr. Chu, in the next couple of minutes I want to turn to you. You're familiar with China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with the law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of.
Yes, I'm familiar with this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China, and
now, like I said, I don't care what TikTok's taking from me. But it should be noted that it's not for use in China. Let's see. Our government wants to throw China under the bus. China's only surveilling us now because y'all been doing it since 9/11. Yeah, I said it. You Patriot Act ass niggas. And a lot of you niggas was there when they signed it, weren't y'all? And I'm talking about, who's talking again? Cruz and all them? Maybe not Cruz, I don't fucking know. I was too young to care about politics back then. But there's some people up there on that panel that was around for that. And they acting like we don't know that.
Senator, as we talked about in your office, we built Project Texas to put this out of reach.
So ByteDance is subject to the law. Now, under this law, which says, shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of, it compels people subject to the law to lie, to protect those secrets. Is that correct?
I cannot comment on that. What I said again is that we have moved it.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah, to protect those secrets?
No, Senator, TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American
But TikTok is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked.
Isn't that true for the Chinese, people on visa over here working in Congress and Senate and all of that? Mr. Cruz? Yeah, don't think we don't know that Jane got them Chinamen walking around up in there. Okay, we ain't stupid.
For any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it. I'm going to tell you, and I told this when you and I met last week in my office, I do not believe you. And I'll tell you, the American people don't either.
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
If you look at what is on
I don't believe you politicians either, Ted Cruz.
TikTok in China, you are promoting to kids science and math videos, educational videos, and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. I can't say that.
They can't help themselves, bro. They can't help themselves at all costs. They're going to do it at all costs, folks. And another thing. Once again, the algorithm don't just throw shit at you. That would be if you were to click explore. You know, you're just going through random videos. I can see with that because I go through TikTok live and I see some heinous shit. Okay. But for the most part, if your kid is repeatedly saying these things, they're looking for it. Where are you, the parent, to see what's going on with your kid's mental state? Where the fuck are you at?
Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Senator, that is just not accurate. There's
not a difference between what kids see in China and what kids see here?
Senator, TikTok is not available in China. It's a separate experience there. What I'm saying is...
You have a company that is essentially the same, except it promotes beneficial materials instead of harmful materials.
That is not true. We have a lot of science and math content here on TikTok. There's so...
I have never once seen a self-harm video on TikTok. And that's even what's going through random videos. Unless you count transgender videos, you know, when they're going around spewing their pronouns and shit like that as self-harm, then I have seen self-harm. But if that's not what you're talking about, I haven't seen.
Much of it.
Okay, let me point to this, Mr. Chu. There was a report recently that compared hashtags on Instagram to hashtags on TikTok, and what trended, and the differences were striking. So, for something like hashtag Taylor Swift or hashtag Trump, researchers found roughly 2 Instagram posts for every one on TikTok. That's not a dramatic difference.
Who gives a shit?
That difference jumps to 8-1 for the hashtag Uyghur. And it jumps to 30-1 for the hashtag Tibet. And it jumps to 57-1 to the hashtag Tiananmen Square. And it jumps to 174-1 for the hashtag Hong Kong protest. Why is it that on Instagram, people can put up a hashtag Hong Kong protest 174 times compared to TikTok? What censorship is TikTok doing at the request of the Chinese government?
None. Senator,
explain that.
So, why are you going after TikTok instead of going after the CCP? I'll tell you why. Because you work for the CCP. Or at least alongside them. You spineless motherfuckers.
The analysis is flawed. It's been debunked by other external sources like the Cato Institute. Fundamentally, a few things happen here. Not all videos carry hashtags. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you cannot selectively choose a few words within a certain time.
Why the difference between Taylor Swift and Tiananmen Square? What happened at Tiananmen Square?
Ancient Chinese secret.
Senator, there was a massive protest during that time. But what I'm trying to say is, our users can freely come and post.
Why would there be no difference on Taylor Swift, or a minimal difference, and a massive difference on Tiananmen Square or Hong Kong?
You want to know why, Ted Cruz? Because these slack-jawed, mouth-breathing motherfuckers don't give a shit about Tiananmen Square. It's not TikTok's fault. These drooling monkeys are getting on TikTok, and they're searching for Taylor Swift. They're not searching for Tiananmen Square, and that's why it's not trending. Ted Cruz. You stupid motherfucker.
Senator, could you wrap up, please?
Senator, our algorithm does not suppress any content simply based on...
Answer that question. Why is there a difference?
Like I said, I think this analysis is flawed. You're selectively choosing some words over some periods. We haven't been around this long.
There is an obvious difference. 174-1 for Hong Kong compared to Taylor Swift is dramatic.
Why are you sitting there ringing Taylor Swift's name? Yeah, we know the bitch gonna be performing at the fucker bowl. Whatever the fuck them niggas call that shit. I don't be watching that shit no more, bro. I don't give a shit about football. What's your point, Ted? You don't have a point because you're trying to project the problems on this. You're trying to put the problems where they don't belong. You're trying to lay the problems at the feet of the wrong people. Next up is the Gun Brigade. Let's do it.
Before my time expires, Mr. Chu, let me just ask you. your platform. Why should your platform not be banned in the United States of America? You are owned by a Chinese communist company or a company based in China. The editor-in-chief of your parent company is a Communist Party secretary. Your company has been surveilling Americans for years. According to...
I just want to say that these politicians haven't banned any of the XXX sites that have featured such content that they're complaining about here today. Okay. And that's why TikTok's not banned, Mr. Howley. Why haven't y'all gotten rid of the Patriot Act if this is such a big problem? Or is it only y'all that can spy on the American citizen?
Leaked audio for more than 80 internal TikTok meetings, China-based employees of your company have repeatedly accessed non-public data of United States citizens. Your company has tracked journalists improperly gaining access to their IP addresses, user data, in an attempt to identify whether they're writing negative stories about you. Why should your platform is basically an espionage arm for the Chinese Communist Party? Why?
Just like the CIA uses Facebook as an espionage arm?
Why should you not be banned in the United States of America?
Senator, I
River Farter told y'all logbook.
disagree with your characterization. Many of what you have said, we have explained in a lot of detail. TikTok is used by 170 million Americans.
I know, and every single one of those Americans are in danger from the fact that you track their keystrokes, you track their app usage, you track their location data, and we know that all of that information can be accessed by Chinese employees who are subject to the diktats of the Chinese Communist Party.
Sir, sir, I'm here to tell you today. Don't nobody give a fuck. You think the average TikTok user gives a goddamn that the fucking CCP is tracking them? Do you really think they give a shit?
Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace.
The answer is no, Mr. Howley. They don't. Alright? So since you're so gung-ho about this, I want to see your ass back here on the panel with motherfuckers from TSA and DHS and all that shit. Grilling the shit out of them for the shit that they're doing to endanger our national security.
Why should you not be banned in this country?
Senator, that is not accurate. A lot of what you describe we collect, we don't.
It is 100% accurate. Do you deny that repeatedly Americans' data has been accessed by ByteDance employees in China?
We get accessed by the CIA every day.
We built a project that cost us billions of dollars to stop that, and we have made a lot of progress.
And it hasn't been stopped. According to the Wall Street Journal report from just yesterday, even now, ByteDance workers, without going through official channels, have access to the private information of American citizens. I'm quoting from the article, private information of American citizens, including their birthday, their IP address, and more. That's now.
Senator, as we know, the media doesn't always get it right.
The nerd in Starbucks can get all that information once you connect to fucking Starbucks to get his Wi-Fi. Alright?
The Chinese Communist Party does?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we've spent billions of dollars to build this project. It's rigorous, it's robust, it's unprecedented, and I'm proud of the work that the 2,000 employees are doing to protect the data.
It's not protected. That's the problem, Mr. Chu. It's not protected at all. It's subject to Communist Chinese Party inspection
and CIA inspection.
View your app, unlike anybody else sitting here, and heaven knows I've got problems with everybody here, but your app, unlike any of those, is subject to the control and inspection of a foreign hostile government that has acted.
What about the domestic hostile government that you work in?
Actively trying to track the information and whereabouts of every American they get their hands on. Your app ought to be banned in the United States of America for the security of this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And you should also be fired for the security of this country. All of you politicians, if you ever see this, you need to resign now. While it's peaceful, you need to resign.
So you want to see how good you are? Then you must be tired of living.
Mr. Chu, let's cut straight to the chase. Is TikTok under the influence of the Chinese Communist Party?
How many times are you going to ask this man this question? When you don't have to ask the question because we all fucking know it. I thought we were here for the fucking children. And I'm here to tell you today, the Chinese government isn't doing not nearly a percentage of the damage that the federal government is doing to our children. Okay?
No, Senator, we are a private business.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Okay, so you can see that your parent, ByteDance, is subject to the 2017 National Security Law, which requires Chinese companies to turn over information to the Chinese government and conceal it from the rest of the world. You can see that, correct?
Senator, the Chinese
no
business...
question, you conceded it early.
Any company that does, any global business that does business in China has to follow their local laws.
Isn't it the case that ByteDance also has an internal Chinese Communist Party committee?
Like I said, all businesses that operate in...
They say all this shit. Like a lot of raggedy ass shit that's in this country don't got made in China stamped on it.
But nothing!
China have to follow their local laws.
So your parent company is subject to the national security law that requires it to answer to the party. It has its own internal Chinese Communist Party committee. You answer to that parent company, but you expect us to believe that you're not under the influence of the Chinese Communist Party?
I understand this concern, Senator, which is why we built Project
It was yes or no question. Okay. But you used to work for ByteDance, didn't you? You were the CFO for ByteDance?
That is correct, Senator.
In April 2021, while you were the CFO, the Chinese Communist Party's China Internet Investment Fund purchased a 1% stake in ByteDance's main Chinese subsidiary, the ByteDance Technology Company. In return for that so-called 1% golden share, the party took one of 3 board seats at that subsidiary company. That's correct, isn't it?
It's for the Chinese business.
Is that correct?
It is for the Chinese business.
That deal was finalized on April 30th, 2021. Isn't it true that you were appointed the CEO of TikTok the very next day on May 1, 2021?
Well, it's a coincidence.
Ancient Chinese secret.
It's a coincidence that you were the CFO,
Senator,
that the Chinese Communist Party took its golden share in its board seat, and the very next day you were appointed the CEO of TikTok?
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
If the CCP, and don't get it fucked up, I'm not going to bat for the CCP. But if the CCP bought a share in a company, took over a company, why wouldn't they take the talent from that company and move it over into another business they own? U.S. federal politicians are the dumbest motherfuckers walking around. Short of you stupid motherfuckers that vote for him.
It's a hell of a coincidence.
It really is, Senator.
Yeah, it is.
He really thinks he's saying something. Get these gump ass motherfuckers out of the halls of my ancestors.
Okay. And before ByteDance, you were at this Chinese company called Xiaomi, is that correct?
Yes, I used to work around the world.
Where did you live when you worked at Xiaomi?
I lived in China.
Where exactly?
In Beijing, in China.
How many years did you live in Beijing?
Senator, I worked there for about 5 years.
So you lived there for 5 years?
Yes.
Isn't it the case that Xiaomi was sanctioned by the United States government in 2021 for being a communist Chinese military company?
I'm here to talk about TikTok.
Ancient Chinese secret.
I think they then had a lawsuit and it was overturned. I can't remember the
No, it's the Biden administration that reversed those sanctions, just like, by the way, they reversed the terrorist.
And y'all let him do it because if it serves me, if my memory serves me right, anytime Trump tried to scratch his ass, y'all had a problem with it.
Designation on the Houthis in Yemen, how's that working out for them? But
don't nobody give a fuck about that. All right, Mr. Howley, Why don't you focus on getting my gas back under $2?
Pussy ass nigga!
Was sanctioned as a Chinese communist military company. So, you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for 2.5 years in
Do you
Singapore.
have any other passports from any other nation?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen, your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
You're a fucking idiot, Mr. Cotton.
Man, this is some bullshit! Who's this man?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been
And I know that y'all don't know me for usually doing this, but I'ma say it. You a racist idiot.
associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions. You said earlier, in response to a question, that what happened at Tiananmen Square in June of 1989 was a massive protest. Anything else happen in Tiananmen Square?
Yes, I think it's well documented. It was a massacre.
There was an indiscriminate slaughter of hundreds or thousands of Chinese citizens. Do you agree with the Trump administration and the Biden administration that the Chinese government is committing genocide against
The CCP helped Biden get into office.
Here's his ancient Chinese secret.
the Uyghur people?
Senator, I've said this before. I think it's really important that anyone who cares about this topic or any topic can freely express themselves on TikTok.
It's a very simple question that unites both parties in our country and governments around the world.
What?
Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, anyone, including you can come and
Yes,
talk
sir.
about this
I'm
topic
asking you,
or any topic.
You are a worldly, cosmopolitan, well-educated man who's expressed many opinions on many topics. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Actually, Senator.
Yes, but what does that have to do with the children, Mr. Cotton?
I talk mainly about my company, and I'm here to talk about what TikTok does.
Yes or no? You're here to give testimony that is truthful and honest and complete. Let me.
About child exploitation on TikTok. Not about the Uyghur genocide, not about the CCP.
Let me ask you this. Joe Biden last year said that Xi Jinping was a dictator. Do you agree with Joe Biden? Is Xi Jinping a dictator?
Senator, I'm not going to
Joe Biden's a dictator.
comment on any world leaders.
What?
A hand puppet dictator at that.
Why won't you answer these very simple questions?
Senator, it's not appropriate for
Are
me
you
as a
scared?
businessman to comment on world leaders.
Are you scared that you'll lose your job if you say anything negative about the Chinese Communist Party?
I disagree that. You will
Are you
find
scared
content
that
that
you'll
is
be
critical of
arrested
China on our
the
platform.
next time you go on? Are you scared that you'll be arrested and disappear the next time you go to mainland China?
Senator, you will find content that is critical of China and any other country freely on TikTok.
Okay. Let's turn to what TikTok, a tool of the Chinese Communist Party, is doing to America's youth. Does the name...
Stop right there. Stop it. China is not the reason there's drag queens and gay teachers in our schools. You want to know the biggest harm to America's youth right now? They punk ass parents. That's who. Okay. What has China possibly done to any of us that motherfuckers like you, and I ain't talking about the parents right now, I'm talking about these politicians. Y'all have done more harm to us than China ever could. Okay? So all this projection is throwing me off, bro. I'm trying to let y'all get through this. I'm trying to get through this without pausing every 10 seconds, but these motherfucking puppets infuriate me, bro. I just want to rip their strings off and wrap it. Continue.
Mason Eden's ring a bell?
Senator, you may have to give me more specifics if you don't mind.
Yeah, he was a 16-year-old Arkansan. After a breakup in 2022, he went on your platform and searched for things like inspirational quotes and positive affirmations. Instead, he was served up numerous videos glamorizing suicide until he killed himself.
That's crock bullshit.
By gun. What about the name Chase Nazca? Does that ring a bell?
Would you mind giving me more details, please?
He was a 16-year-old who saw more than 1,000 videos on your platform about violence and suicide until he took his own life by stepping in front of a plane or train. Are you aware that his parents, Dean and Michelle, are suing TikTok and ByteDance?
Where were y'all punk ass when he was walking on the train tracks?
For pushing their son to take his own life?
Yes.
So it's TikTok's fault that your kid is mentally unstable. It might not have nothing to do with his ragged ass mama working a job instead of having her punk ass at home educating him himself and keeping his ass off TikTok. You motherfuckers make me sick, bro.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Out here looking for a check. A check ain't gonna bring your kid back, you money grubbing motherfuckers. Y'all ain't shit out here.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Chu, has the Federal Trade Commission sued TikTok during the Biden administration?
Senator, I cannot talk about whether there's any
Are you
ongoing...
currently being sued by the Federal Trade Commission?
Senator, I cannot talk about any potential lawsuits.
I said potential actual. Are you being sued by the Federal Trade Commission?
Senator, I think I've given you my answer. I cannot talk about
no.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Ms. Yacarino's company is being sued, I believe. Mr. Zuckerberg's company is being sued, I believe. Yet TikTok.
So basically, you don't know if they're being sued. You're just talking shit.
I didn't think so.
The agent of the Chinese Communist Party is not being sued by the Biden administration. Are you familiar?
That's because who put Joe Biden in power? We just covered this.
With the name Christina Kafara.
You may have to give me more details.
Christina Kafara was a paid advisor to ByteDance, your communist-influenced parent company. She was then hired by the Biden FTC to advise on how to sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company.
Senator, ByteDance is a global company and not a Chinese Communist Party company. It's owned by global investors.
Public reports indicate that your lobbyist visited the White House more than 40 times in 2022. How many times did your company's lobbyist visit the White House last year?
I don't know that.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Are you aware that the Biden campaign?
Xi Jinping was in San Francisco a few months ago.
Campaign and the Democratic National Committee is on your platform. They have TikTok accounts.
Senator, we encourage people to come on.
Which, by the way, they won't let their staffers use their personal phones. They give them separate phones that they only use TikTok on.
We encourage everyone to join, including yourself,
So all these companies are being sued by the FTC. You're not. The FTC has a former paid advisor or parent talking about how they can sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company. Joe Biden's re-election campaign and the Democratic National Committee is on your platform. Let me ask you, have you or anyone else at TikTok communicated with or coordinated with the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, or the Democratic National Committee to influence the flow of information on your platform?
We work with anyone, any
The same way y'all use the Patriot Act.
creators want to use our campaigns. It's all the same process.
Okay, so what we have here, we have a company that's a tool of the Chinese Communist Party that is poisoning the minds of America's children, in some cases driving them to suicide, and that at best the Biden administration is taking a pass on, at worst maybe in collaboration with. Thank you, Mr. Chu.
That is a gump ass. That was the interrogation of Show Chu. Got some more in the chamber for y'all. But what I want to take away from this is it's going to be a recurring theme throughout these next mini series of videos. But I feel like I have to keep repeating myself over and over again because maybe if you guys hear it, it'll start sinking in. TikTok is not at fault. The CCP is not at fault. Fault lies with the federal government and the parent of the so-called United States of America. Y'all are the problem. You want your kids to be safe as the parents? That is your job. I don't want to hear any of that takes a village bullshit. It starts with you sending a reputable citizen out into the village, a reputable member of society. If you don't do that, how are we supposed to keep them safe? If you can't, why is that somebody else's job? You brought that kid here. Just say you ain't shit. It's that easy. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. All my links are down in the description. It's fucking ridiculous.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.